On this episode of In the House, I speak with James and Jessica Murdock. James of J Murdock Homes is a home builder in the Liberty Hill area, and Jessica is a realtor with Magnolia Realty, who several years ago helped my wife and I buy our first home. We discuss how the market has changed recently and some lessons learned through the aftermath of the pandemic. James walks us through what his clients seem to care most about during construction, among other things. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Happy New Year, and thanks for listening. Upgrade your construction layouts with Trademarks. These heavy-duty vinyl markers are designed to withstand harsh job site conditions. They're durable, waterproof, and perfect for marking locations for electrical, plumbing, HVAC, and more. Available in trade-specific colors, Trademarks make communication with your team simple, professional, and reliable. Whether you're recording benchmarks, elevations, or center lines, Trademarks ensure your layouts stay intact, even under heavy traffic. New customers enjoy 15% off at checkout. Visit trademarklayout.com to get yours today. Yep, we just started.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, we're excited to be here. We feel special. So Thanks for thinking of it.
Thanks for having us.
Of course. Yeah, well, so a little backstory. Jessica, you helped my wife and I find a home several years ago, and and we're very grateful. I mean, that was a very stressful part of our lives. I mean, I'm sure everybody can relate to that. You know, that was our first home, and it was during COVID, or just right at the start of it, right?
Yeah,
it was like right.
It was in that weird phase of right when COVID started, where nobody knew anything, right?
Yeah.
We didn't know what the real estate market was going to do, of course, but like we didn't know anything, and so. To me, I felt kind of on pause during that time, not intentionally. So I was so excited when you guys called. I was like, okay, I'm going out. I'm showing a house. Like, let's do it.
Yeah.
I don't remember if we had a mask or whatever, but you know,
we definitely didn't. I was very anti-mask.
I was still in that period of time where it was like, what the heck's going on? Like, I don't know what know what to do, but that didn't last.
And I get it. And especially like, cause that was about the time, I think my daughter, she was young. I think she was maybe one, maybe just turning two. She's 6 now.
They were little.
She was little. Yeah. My son hadn't been born yet. My wife was pregnant. And so she was very cautious, you know, she wanted people to keep their distance, and she wanted me to sanitize everything and wear the mask. And I was like, well, I cut it off with the mask. I'm not doing that.
It was hard, like, as a real estate agent then, too, because it was like, no matter what my standpoint was, I didn't know what my client's standpoint was. And so you didn't want to show up and not be as safe as possible and have somebody be like, we're going to go with another agent. So, anyways, I was excited to help you guys. So
I appreciate
a little light to my life.
Yeah, I'm glad, and you did for us as well. And you know, and we had tried other agents, and I just was not satisfied. And that kind of brings me into the first thing I wanted to discuss. But my biggest frustration was that it seemed like they weren't like fighting on your behalf. You know, it was like they weren't negotiating how you thought things should be negotiated.
Right, yeah.
And I felt like we lost out on so many homes. I mean, we were looking for a home for 2 or 3 years. You know, we went through this.
Crazy,
you know what I mean?
We got the first one, right? I mean,
yes,
like the first one you wanted, if I remember correctly.
I remember it was quick.
We got
like
it.
they were fixing to close on some other offers, and we said, well, wait, hold on, let's go look at the house. And we went with you, and we made an offer that was above everybody else, and we ended up getting the house. But we kind of slipped in there, like right at the very end.
Right, like, wait, hold on, we've got something.
Yeah.
We've got something up our sleeve here. So.
And it happened very, very quickly. And that was the only house that my wife and we both looked at and immediately agreed, you know, that we both liked it.
It had some cool factors.
It did. We didn't want cookie cutter, and that was not. It's not
cookie cutter.
It's not cookie cutter.
It had some cool factor, and I know you had a vision for it. But yeah, I mean, honestly, it's good to hear that feedback. I don't think that really I thought too much about like our negotiation. I thought about the strategy of it all, of course, and how important it was, but I didn't think of whether or not I was listening to you guys. Like, that wasn't really an option, right? Like,
right.
Or a consideration. It was just how how it works. So that's interesting. I'm not sure why you had that experience, but yeah, listening to your client and what they want is kind of what we do, and what should be like
it should be like a no-brainer.
Bare minimum.
Yeah. Well, what in your opinion? I mean, what makes a good real estate agent? Like, what are some criteria? Like, these are the boxes you need to check in your opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, to your point, like listening. Sometimes when I get that question, it's like I'm not actually. Like, those are just kind of a given, like being upfront and being honest and listening. Really, I think in this market, because it is the complete opposite of when we bought your house. Like, complete 180. So I think, in this market, the biggest thing is just being upfront with your clients.
Mm-hmm.
So if they've got these ideas, or they're stuck on price, or they're, stuck on maybe not prepping or staging their house or whatever it is, like being able to be upfront with them and just going, I empathize, like I get it. This is stressful.
Yeah.
This stinks, but we need to do this because this is a really hard market. Otherwise, we're just spinning our wheels. You're going to sit on the market. We're not going to get anything accomplished except wasting time. So I think right now it's so important to find an agent that's just going to respectfully tell you like it is, right? Like, and not too aggressive of a manner, but upfront. Yeah,
I mean, y'all are the professionals, really. Like, you buy and sell houses all the time. Like, y'all should know the ins and outs. So it's like, you kind of have to trust your agent.
Yeah.
And, that was one thing that I liked about you was, well, one of the frustrations, let me back up, that I had was when I asked questions of other agents that I use, they didn't seem to give me any new information that I didn't already know.
Okay.
Which was extremely frustrating. It's like, okay, I knew that already. Like, tell me something I don't know about the property. Whereas with you, it's like you had researched it. You knew, you gave me things that I didn't know. I didn't know that, the lot next to us came with a house until we got there. And you're like, oh, by the way.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, sweet. This is a bonus lot.
I remember that.
Yeah. So it's like stuff like that really went a long way with me is, asking questions that I don't know the answer to, and you actually being able to provide
makes you like that dream client.
Yeah.
Because some people don't do that. And kind of to that same point, it's like it's so easy to find an agent that just will agree with everything you say.
Yeah.
Which is fun for like a day until like nothing works out the way you think it's going to. But if an agent is just agreeing to your price point, or if you're telling her or him what you're not going to do or whatever, and they're just saying okay, it's kind of a red flag. Like, you want somebody that's going to push you a little bit and say, have you thought about this? Or I understand why you're stuck on this, but and that just kind of comes naturally to me.
Good. I would agree. Yeah.
So that works out.
What kind of market are we in right now?
We are in a buyer's market right now. So
meaning the people buying the house has more power than the seller.
Yeah,
that's kind of what
you definitely feel that. I mean, there's some one-offs around Austin for sure. Like, if you just got like a really cool house and it really stands out, like, it's not to say we're not seeing multiple offers or seeing those, but for the most part, we're seeing homes sitting for longer. We're seeing homes, our buyers having the upper hand. They're coming in, they're able to negotiate money off the sales price. They're able to negotiate their closing cost. A good realtor is telling them, let's get as much credit for closing costs as possible. Mm-hmm. Use it to buy the interest rate down. So it's a buyer's market. We're feeling that for sure. They've got the advantage.
Is that just because is there still a huge influx of people from California? Do you see that a lot?
I don't see it the way I saw it during COVID.
Really?
I mean, during COVID, it was like every week I was getting a call and it's somebody from California. That has definitely slowed down, which makes sense. It kind of aligns with the market slowing down as well. Not to say they're not coming, but
just at a slower rate.
Just at a slower rate. Those California phone calls have definitely slowed down on my own.
Yeah, they've just flooded here. from California, I think even like Nevada, New York too. That was another like really big one, like New York.
Yeah, I've had a lot of buyers this year, probably 4 total, from Washington, one from DC. So they're coming from up north, but I haven't heard from California buyers as much lately. So
I gotcha. You James, you see any California people calling you up wanting to?
No, I wouldn't
want
say
any new
so.
builds?
I had some clients come out of Florida.
Florida people love moving.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like there's just a transit back and forth between Texas and Florida. But no, I haven't dealt with any California people that I'm aware of.
Oh, that's good.
I can recall.
Good for you.
Not that I wouldn't welcome them.
You dodged the bullet there.
No, like, to be clear, like, if you live in California, like, I'll help you buy a house.
I take that back, actually. I had some California people, and I mean, they were, you know, not your typical. They were
Cool.
more right wing than most Texans. I mean, honestly,
Yeah,
that's probably why they were coming.
That's probably why they were coming here.
Yeah. So the stereotype of California. I mean, they're not all like that. Obviously,
That's true. That's true. It's mainly in the big cities.
Yeah,
I mean, heck,
right.
even here in Texas, you know, Austin and Dallas and Houston. Yeah,
right.
It is what it is. But to go into, I mean, so James, you have your own construction company. So you do custom homes, in the Liberty Hill area?
Primarily Liberty Hill. I mean, that's where I've been building the last few years. I've taken on some jobs kind of out in the hill country.
Yeah.
Went out in like the Johnson City area, went out in Inks Lake.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I'm starting to branch off to, you know, just the hill country area. I'm trying to stay away from the Austin Metroplex as much as possible.
Okay.
But, you know, anywhere around there.
Yeah, a little lax rules out there, I think.
I would say so. Yeah.
But also, if you have a house that you want to build in Austin, you'll be fine.
Absolutely.
Right? You're all about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Depends.
Bring it on.
Yeah.
Well, what matters the most, you know, to a client when they come to you? Like, what have you seen trend wise? Like, what are the things that people are wanting to really emphasize in a new build? Is it, you know, we want the highest performing, we want, you know, the latest and greatest technology, or,
you know, when it comes to performance, like, to be honest, the clients I've dealt with up to date, I mean, I've had to push the performance aspect on.
Yeah.
That hadn't been
I think that's just something that not a lot of people understand.
Yeah, everybody wants a comfortable, healthy, efficient house, but do they know that, you know, the ins and outs about how you accomplish that? Probably not. So I've had to kind of guide them in that direction, but, you know, I'm building a lot of houses on acreage, you know, bigger lots. So when it comes to the outdoor living and, you know, that kind of stuff, that seems to be a lot of people's focal point. They're moving from a master plan community out to an acre, 2 acre, 3 acreage, and they're wanting to change their life, get more outdoors or, something along that line. So
kind of like I mean, is it more modern, you think? Do you work with architects, or I
do work with architects. I mean, I work with architects and draftsmen, designers, design firms. I've used a company out of New Braunfels on a couple projects. I've used a guy out of Westlake on a project. So I'm not necessarily, like, per se, married to one architect at this moment, but you know, we're seeing a lot of, you know, kind of modern farmhouse.
Yeah, that is kind of the new
seems to be the
style
trend right now.
Yeah.
A lot of dark colors on the exterior.
Yeah.
A lot of black.
A lot of black and gray, I think.
Yep.
That's true. That is
Which doesn't always end up with the most efficient, or it's more challenging.
I was going to say, that kind of works against you on the efficiency.
Yeah, it does work against you, but it's real pretty, so.
Yeah. How do you educate the clients on the efficiency, you know, because that is true. I mean, you alluded to that. Like, they say they want, you know, we want electric bills to be low. We do want efficiency, but, you know, how do you educate them as far as this is what's required? Not a lot of people, I think, understand. Like,
right. I mean, the main factor is insulation, HVAC, air sealing, stuff like that. So people don't
windows and
even
doors
know that their house needs to be airtight, you know, or needs to be sealed, and what the stages are to get it actually, you know, airtight. So just talk to them about it. You know, go over our values and go over SEER values and all that stuff, and but you know, I wouldn't say you're going to lose them sometimes. So it's like, hey, let's stick to the basics. You know, we're going to insulate your house really good.
Yeah.
We're going to make it really airtight. We're going to make sure You don't have to spend a ton of money on your HVAC, but let's make sure it's a high efficient system.
Right.
And it performs well.
Yeah.
And you'll be good. There's other things you can do to enhance that, but, just educate them more than what they know.
Right.
They don't need to be,
an expert,
engineers or scientists about it, but they need to know the basics about it.
That's true.
What they're paying for,
Yeah.
So.
What was your, before you started your company, what was your background? What did you get in?
So I was in construction since 2007. I worked for about 17 years for a high-end, residential, somewhat commercial roofing company.
Uh-huh.
So we primarily did metal roofing, tile roofing, high-end houses in Westlake, Bee Cave.
Okay.
Downtown Austin, Spicewood, where you're dealing with multi-million-dollar homes. And I got into that and really enjoyed it, and, really walked through many, many different houses and dealt with many, many different builders, and learned as much as I could about it. And eventually I ended up in 2008 buying a lot, out in Liberty Hill. Okay. And I was going to hire go find a home builder to build me a house. And I had a guy that worked with us that was a builder for like 30 years. And he's like, James, you can totally do this on your own, man. You've been in construction for more than a decade. You know a lot of builders. You know a lot of people in the industry. Like, yeah. I thought, well, maybe I can do this. I didn't know necessarily how to build a house, but I knew enough about.
You knew the right people.
I knew the right people. I knew the right trades.
Yeah.
I knew the right.
You knew a good roofer.
I knew the people to talk to. So I gave it a shot, and I really enjoyed it. I had a blast doing it.
What's your favorite part?
Nowadays, you talking about the stages of construction, or
what gets you out of bed? Like, what gets you fired up? Like, man, I can't wait to.
Yeah, to be honest, it's the excitement of my clients at this point.
Really? Okay.
I have dealt with some people that don't really express their excitement like some others do. Those are always hard because you got to pull it out of them.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Because that really drives me to make sure that you're loving the process, that you're excited about it. But yeah, the excitement of the client is really what drives me.
Meeting their expectations, or surpassing them.
Yeah,
surpassing them.
And just taking what at one point when we first met, 18 months ago was just a vision. Yeah. And eventually turning it into something they're going to raise their kids in, or create a family in, or just enjoy themselves, enjoy retirement in, or whatever it might be. You're changing, you're impacting somebody's life in one way. Even though it's for a short period of their life, it's setting them up for many, many years of.
That's true.
Hopefully living in a house that's a great place to live.
That's a good way to think of it. Yeah. That's true. You're taking raw land and just raw materials, really, sticks and sheets of lumber and some other stuff, and you're slapping it together, and you're making a house out of it.
Very primitive. It's still
it kind of is.
Yeah.
The building principles, have been used for hundreds of years, but you're creating somebody's home. Like you said, their kids are going to grow up there, and they're going to hopefully grow old there.
Yeah. My favorite stage, honestly, is pretty much the day the walls start going up during framing.
Framing? Me too. Yeah, framing is like something I really get into.
It's like this has all come to fruition. We've been planning this for about a year, a long time, and it's always been a concept. It's always been on paper. And the client comes out there, a couple of days into framing, and is actually able to walk through the house and be like, oh my God, that's a space that we're going to use, and
you can start to visualize it.
To visualize it, yeah.
Yeah, everything's from that point on has been 2D. Exactly. And now it's turning into 3D, and
it's really cool. Really,
it is cool. I've said it before. It's where like theory turns into reality. Because everything on paper is just theoretical. Yeah. Until you put it together, and then it's law. Then it becomes reality, and it's. And
the homes I'm building are all custom. So and I'm very intimate with the client. Like, we've been connected since the beginning. So. Like when the house is closed and done, I'm like beating my chest. Like, I did this,
Absolutely.
I did this for them. And
that's a huge accomplishment.
It's kind of, I'm not a, production builder building 100 houses a year where you lose the vision of, what you're doing for your client. I really feel proud about what I built for these people once I'm completed, and they're happy, and, they move in, and, it's a great experience.
That's the important part. How happy the client is at the end of the day, Yeah. Because, I mean, that's how you get new business. I mean, that's how you get
Right.
referrals and, you know, new people being pushed to you. I mean, it all depends on their happiness. And
Right.
yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. That's a great way to put it. But do y'all help each other out at all? I mean, you're on the real estate side, you're on the building side. I mean, how,
We do. I mean,
yeah,
We do.
We totally do.
I don't know if this is good or bad, but you know, kind of sadly, a lot of our conversations at the end of the day are home related. You know, either about his transactions or my real estate transactions. The other day he called me and was just talking about a retaining wall for, you know, a while, and finally he's like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "We're talking about a retaining wall." Like, I don't know. Like, let's talk about something else for a minute. Like, I can only say so many things about this. But I think kind of socially, you know, that's just naturally where our conversations head.
Yeah.
We both 100,000,000% support each other's businesses.
mm-hmm.
But we're also each individually very busy within our own businesses. So he does have some assistance with building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and the things his employee does, I don't know how to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
It would be something I could bring to the table. So that's been exciting. And we get to kind of relax a little bit more and just enjoy talking about, you know, building homes and everything. But this guy's got a big design eye. So we're not
That's
the
good.
typical couple where like I'm picking out all the finishes and making his spec homes look a certain way. His eye for design is impeccable. Like he does the bulk of it. There's usually like with a spec home, maybe 3 things
Mm-hmm.
that I've contributed as far as like an idea and he agrees with, and I get excited when I see it. But for the most part, man, it's all him, and then we just support each other 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I read you said you had early on you had an interest in architecture, right?
I did.
Did you ever think about pursuing that?
I did actually. You know, going back a long time ago when I was a kid, my mom used to, you know, give me architecture books, you know, Frank Lloyd Wright. And she would bring home from the grocery store these, you know, now you can buy the plans online, e-plans or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
But back then it was in a magazine.
Mm-hmm.
You go pick out a plan, mail in your deal, and they'd send you a set of plans. But so I was drawing like house plans at like 8 years old.
Oh, wow.
Nevertheless, you know, a long time later in high school, I took some drafting classes, like probably a lot of people do, but I did pursue it. I went to college, started off as doing some prerequisite classes for architecture. The school I went to didn't have an architecture school at all.
Oh, okay.
So I would have had to transfer out, but, eventually I just kind of, you know, changed majors because I wanted to get out of college and move on. And, so I didn't pursue it, you know, long term, but I wish I did. But, no, I've always had an interest in architecture, and, I think it's kind of what drives what I do now.
Right. Right. I mean, you pay attention more to the design and like what things relate to other parts of the house.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it for sure.
Yep.
Some decisions are just not easily made. It's not just, hey, let's move this can light over a little bit over here.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it lines up with this over here. You can't just move that. Or
I don't think clients always
they don't understand that. Like, can we just
Move that
extend?
over.
Can we
Have
extend
that
this
in.
room out? I'm like, well, you can, but I mean, it's going to change the entire
everything. Yeah.
house. I mean, the architect's going to have to redesign the
Right.
roof plane. He's going to have to redesign the foundation. I mean,
It's pretty
it's going
extensive.
to change the exterior of the house because this wall's going to be bumped out.
I mean, especially with modern stuff.
Yeah.
It's like
It's all straight
there's
line.
no hiding anything. That's the trick about, I think, modern architecture is it's just kind of all out in the open. I mean, you can get tricky with it and try to hide mechanicals and conceal it, you know, within millwork details, you know, like cabinets or whatever. But like, you know, you're taking away a lot of the millwork. There's, you know, no casing around your doors or windows. There's no baseboards. It's all gone. And so
Very
it's like,
minimalist. Yeah.
it's very, very minimal, and just everything has to be perfectly flat and straight and smooth. And
It's minimalist, but it costs more.
it does. Yeah. It's kind of interesting. Yeah. You get rid of a lot of the craftsmanship and the detail.
Yeah.
And it just seems to, now it's got to just be perfect. Because like used to, you know, your baseboard, that's what hides the transition between your wall and your floor. Well,
Yeah.
you take that away, that needs to be perfect,
Yeah,
you know?
right.
It's like
Before you put the baseboard on, it's nasty down there.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, and same with your casing. Like that hides the gap between your jamb and your
Right.
framing. Well, now, nope, there's no casing. So
Right.
You're very much geared as a highly detailed perfectionist, though. So
good. I mean, yeah, you got to be.
you
Yeah.
can't help it. No, and that's what makes you an excellent builder. But yeah, you are the epitome of a perfectionist. You're literally looking around this room right now, like you're like, I don't know, like we should.
That lights
put some
out.
wings
Oh, I
on
know.
it.
It's a curse. Like everywhere you go, I'm sure like hotels.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Yeah, friends' houses, and you're just looking around. And I got caught one time. I went to a buddy of mine, and very big, very nice house, and I was just looking around.
Starting to point
He's like,
things
"What are you
out.
look?"
Always
Yeah, he's like, "What are you looking at?" I'm like, "Oh, nothing."
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing.
Or like
you
you
don't want
said,
to
you
know.
go to a hotel that
Let's redo this whole place.
Yeah,
you go to a hotel that you spent $600 a night for a room, and it's
Oh,
like
man.
you're like, this is building crap.
it is, man. It's I mean, that's just like production too. It's blow and go and hotels, but man, yeah, it's a curse. You can't turn it off. It's wherever you go.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's helpful in what we do. I mean,
yeah.
I try not to, kill myself over it, but it's necessary. I think.
Yeah.
Just try to be detail oriented as possible.
Yeah.
You kind of kill yourself over it, though.
Yeah.
A little
It
bit.
does add some additional stress, but it's okay. It's for the best.
Construction is a very stressful
Right.
industry.
Right.
I mean, yeah, it's the nature of the beast. What we just came through an election, and before the new administration, or after the new administration takes office, I mean, what kind of market are you think we're poised to
Man.
get into?
Yeah, I love every January. I feel like realtors start getting on social media and putting their opinions out there. And I was one of them last year, and then it was like, wrong. I look like an idiot. Why did I say that? So interesting timing with everything. The Fed met mid-December, December 18th, I believe, and everything was poised for them to cut rates. We knew that was going to happen. Lenders kind of had that baked into their mortgage rates. So that did happen. Rates went down, which was great. That's should have been like a kind of boring day there. But then they added in some verbiage, right? Like they made their general broad statement with the rate cuts and said, well, we're not going to cut rates as much as we initially said we were going to, which before the election, that was kind of the statements that were being made, that rates were going to continue being cut in the new year. So they didn't say they're not going to cut rates. Those will continue to be cut, but they very much put some language out there that was like, not as much as what we said. Like, no.
Kind of walked it back a little bit.
Walked it back a little bit, unfortunately, which doesn't sound like it would be a big deal, but their language triggered investors to kind of frenzy.
Right, because it caused
it started up. Yeah.
ambiguity, like where you need clarity.
Everybody's trying to predict like these general statements that the Fed makes. So mortgage rates yesterday went up like almost immediately.
Really?
So that was kind of like, wait a second, like I'm going on podcasts and this is what we're talking about. And
That's great.
I had my opinion here.
I'll take a little bit too.
So I mean, here's the deal
Thank
with
you.
Trump. Like, no matter what side of the political line you are on with
Right.
him, he shakes things up. Like that is
what he was born to
known
do,
for.
yeah.
That is what he is born to do. So my personal hope is that like the real estate market is going to get shaken up a little next year.
Okay.
That would make me so incredibly happy. It's
When you say shaken up, like what do you mean?
a pickup, like even more towards a balanced market. Homes not sitting on the market as long.
Okay.
What I think really is going to shake up the market is just mortgage rates going down.
So you start to see more, like you said, houses not sitting for sale as long.
Exactly.
Frees up more
That would be great.
home
More
buyers
buyer
to-
activity.
yeah.
We're seeing a lot of buyers right now. Just they might be dipping their toes in, like even looking at houses, even talking about how much they like this particular home, and then they disappear. They do nothing, right? Like they're just frozen. So seeing just more buyers get out there and enter the market and like make that move, like to put in offers and get to the finish line would be amazing. I think in reality, what's going to happen with the market next year is it's going to be better. It's going to be better than 24, 23. It's going to pick up, but we're not going to see some wild, crazy market.
Okay.
But I think interest rates are going to go down steadily, slowly. Apparently, not maybe as many times as what we would like. But they're going to trend downward. More buyers are going to come out. It's going to pick up, but we're not talking about like slammed. Right?
Yeah. Do you think it'll ever get back down, like the rates will get back down to what they were originally, or
no,
you don't think we're going back there?
I don't think we're ever going to see that. I mean, it's going to take something that we really don't want to happen in the world to get a 3% interest rate out there.
Really?
I think those days are long gone. So when I say interest rates are going down, probably still 6s.
Okay.
High 5s would be amazing. I think that would really drive the market and shake things up, if you will.
Yeah.
But no, the days of 3, that was a COVID thing.
Yeah.
Those are gone. And it's honestly what's kind of paralyzing people right now, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm in this home. I like it. My interest rate is low. Or maybe you don't like it, but you convince yourself that you like it because you have a 3% interest rate.
Right.
So, yeah. It's tricky.
It is.
It's tricky, but it's not coming back. I think that's gone.
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
I'm sorry. You look sad.
I am kind of, because I think when we bought it was still sub 3%. I think I think maybe 2.8 is what we were at. I might be.
Damn, that's awesome.
I hope I'm not fibbing there, but I think it was
very,
very, very close. I don't remember either.
It was probably very low.
My wife knows.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Awesome. It was low.
It was considerably lower than it is now, but
but a lot of people are kind of doing though. It's like, because it makes you feel a little bit stuck in a good way. Or, you feel stuck with this house. I'm not saying you, but just people in general. So we're kind of getting a lot of like accidental landlords. They don't want to let go of that house because the interest rate is really cozy. So they'll keep it and lease it out for the time being. Obviously, that's not something everybody can do. But if they have the means to do it, then they'll go buy another house and keep that one as an investment property.
Do you think it would be advantageous for somebody, who does own a house and they need to like upgrade? Basically, they need more room. So, would you think it'd be more advantageous to sell the house that they're currently in and find the larger house, or just add on to the home that they already have? And now you're making that investment into the property that...
Yeah. Oh gosh. I think that's so situational, right? Like, I'm seeing a lot of people that want to move because of location. Like during COVID, I bought this house and it seemed like a really good idea. Like we wanted this like mini ranch, or we wanted to be out in the country. And now I'm not working remotely. Things have changed, or like, why the heck did I move all the way out here?
Right.
So I'm seeing a lot of people like they have to move because of location, and obviously you can't change your location. But I mean, gosh, if you have the means to do that and you like your location and you like your house, then absolutely, go for it. But obviously you can't move your house. So it's really situational, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's fair.
Are you moving? Are we putting your house on the market? Is that what's happening?
Not yet. We'll see. Time will tell.
No, I'm kidding. Those thoughts are going through everybody's mind.
I never know where my next.
What do I do?
I never know where my next project's going to be. So I mean,
I know you could find a way to move your house if you want.
It's certainly not impossible.
Yeah, just take it.
Okay.
Certainly not impossible.
Oh my gosh.
But do you see the same thing kind of in the new construction realm? Like, was there a lull, in the market, and do you think we're poised to see that pick up as well, like new construction?
It's really insane, but I expected 2024 to be kind of a slow market for custom new construction in the price point I build. But it's been insane. Like I've had calls like crazy. I've taken on new contracts like crazy, more than I ever anticipated or thought. And people are, calling, hey, I want to build a house at $1.5 million, and I have a bank that I'm going to. I'm like, what? Where you come from?
Yeah.
But anyways, they're still doing it. I mean, if they have the financial means to do so, I mean, the rate.
And also because they're getting exactly what they want when they
Yes.
build a house with you. And,
Right.
And right now, like what we're seeing when buyers come and look at a resale home is X, Y, and Z is wrong with it, right? Like they are pickier than ever. So
Right.
it kind of makes sense that like the custom home builder feels a little uptick because they're getting everything they want.
Most of the people
no
that I'm doing business with have explored the market.
Mm-hmm.
They can't find the house. It's just not out there.
Really?
It's just not out there, and they've looked and they're exhausted, and let's go buy some property and build a house on it. And
Yeah.
I've had some cash buyers, and that's a different situation because they're not having to take out a mortgage. But no, it's been a good year.
That's good.
My forecast for next year, I have no clue. If I'm being honest. I anticipate the new administration. I mean, there should be, like she said, a shakeup and some hopefully positive things that happen.
Well, I mean, it seems like too if rates go down and people that I guess frees up more people to be able to get a construction loan, right? Yeah. Then hopefully, 2025 and beyond should be looking pretty good.
Yeah,
that's the idea anyway. I mean,
the competition is the 2.8 rate like you have and the 3% rate. I mean, that's the competition.
Yeah.
For There's people just so many people on the sidelines though that are like in that house and they're thinking on it, and if they could, not that you could go out and get a 2.8% rate again, but like if you could go out and get even like a 5% rate or like something that just didn't sting quite so bad, like they would do it, but they're on the sidelines. Like they're just waiting. Yeah. I mean, we're guilty of it too, a little bit, just talking and dreaming and like, no, yes, no.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are in that boat. So over the past several years, I mean, what's your takeaway? What have you learned, like going through COVID and then post COVID and then, sort of in the market that we're in now? I mean, what were some of the biggest takeaways? I mean, really for each of you, but, let's start with you, Jessica, and like what were there any hard lessons learned? I mean, what did you learn throughout that kind of tumultuous time and in the market and
I
real
learned
estate?
that people had more money than I ever thought. I mean, even like my buyers competing against these people, and it's like, okay, well, we're so sorry you lost out. Your buyers lost out on this house. We got an offer for $150,000 over list price, and you're just like, where the heck do you like? How? Why? Like what?
Oh.
So kidding, but that was kind of like eye opening. Honestly, that time was so fast and furious.
Yeah.
When you guys called me to help purchase a house, that was kind of like, okay, the phones are starting to ring again. Like the world's not ending. Let's go out and sell some real estate time. Yeah. And then probably like after you guys closed, it was just insanity as far as a pickup in the real estate market.
Really?
I mean, there's phone calls missed. You couldn't keep up with it.
Crazy.
It was way too much. It was too crazy for, if a real estate agent was not producing and having success during that time, then, it was wrong. Time to find success elsewhere. So, I don't even know what lesson I learned. I learned that I don't want the market to be like that again.
Really? Yeah. Okay.
A competitive market is one thing, but that was just, it was kind of awful. I mean, buyers were having to go way over list price.
So it was more of a seller's market then, right?
It was a seller's market galore. Yeah. And so, it was just really rough for your everyday buyers that wanted to own a home but couldn't because they're competing against the California buyer that's got cashed out on their equity and are like, we'll spend whatever we want to. Like, it's cheap here in Texas. So yeah, I think I learned that I don't want the market to ever be that way. I would rather it be slower where you can focus on your clients and kind of nurture that relationship and take care of them a little bit better than the whirlwind that was COVID.
Yeah, that's true. I'm happy. You mentioned that. I have a few friends from California, and that was one thing too that was kind of eye opening to me was the prices over there are so much higher than what we're used to here. And like, Yeah, I mean, for like a 2,000 square foot house over there, it might be over $1 million, maybe even approaching $2 million. It, depending on the area. And then they come here and it's like, we can get what for $2 million? Like we can get this 8,000 square foot.
And everybody here is
like,
griping about prices, which it's all about perspective.
It's
and
very,
you would try to talk to buyers where it's like, it might be overpriced, but like it's not to this dude over here who's about to get the house. So it stunk. Like it was not as fun as probably what like outsiders thought it was for realtors at that time.
That's true.
It was tough.
Yeah. That was definitely very personal for us because, that happened many a time where, like, we would make an offer that was, $20,000, $30,000 over listing, like whatever we could afford.
Right. That's normal, like normal people.
Right. And then somebody would just swoop in and, like, boom, 100,000 over, something outrageous. And I was like, all right, well, we're not getting that one.
So it's totally flip-flop now. Like, if we went out and found a house now, it would be, let's talk about how much money we can get off of the sales price most of the time.
Yeah,
let's talk about getting your closing costs covered so you can buy down your interest rate and like make this work. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Or whatever else you want at a house. We've had people ask for all kinds of crazy stuff. So,
yeah. Well, what do y'all do for fun?
Oh, we just talk about real estate. We talk about retaining walls.
No.
We drive our kids around to sports.
So you got kids. Yeah. What age? Oh, they're older, right?
How old are our kids,
14
James?
and 11.
11 and 14.
Son's 14. He's really into golf. So, of course, Dad's got to take him golf. Mom takes him golfing, too, as well.
Okay.
But that takes a lot of our time. I mean, we go out to eat. We go to concerts. We cook a lot.
What kind of concerts?
We just went and saw back in October. We went to Ryan Bingham.
Yeah.
We
Ryan
love
Bingham. Who's Ryan Bingham?
Country.
You don't know who Ryan Bingham is?
Oh, sorry, I don't.
Oh,
he's on Yellowstone.
Huh?
Okay.
Yellowstone?
Do you know the show Yellowstone?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't do TV a lot.
Okay, that's not a bad thing at all.
Yeah.
We enjoy Ryan Bingham's music a lot more than probably Ryan Bingham's acting.
Right.
We went and saw
Chris
Leon
Stapleton,
Bridges.
Chris
Okay, I do know Chris Stapleton.
Okay,
yes,
good,
I
good,
love
good,
Chris
good, good.
Stapleton.
Stuff like that.
We'll send you some Ryan Bingham
All right.
music. He's Texas country, but we love that. We love eating and we love drinking, and other than that, that's kind of it for us.
Yeah, we have a great group of friends that we hang out
We
with.
do have a great
in our
group
little
of friends.
Liberty Hill community.
That's good. That sounds awesome.
When you move to Liberty Hill, you have to find a great group of friends because it takes longer to get places. Yeah. This was our experience, at least. It takes longer to get places, so you become kind of more of a homebody.
Okay.
You build your house. Most people have like an acre or so. So it feels, we've become more homebodies since we moved to Liberty Hill, but we have a great group of friends that we, party with and drink and just adore. So.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Luckily, they have kids that are like the exact same age as our kids that are all friends. So we probably met them through our kids, to be honest.
I know. That's how it goes when you
that's definitely
see that when your kids get older, yeah.
It's really convenient because we can go hang out and socialize, and the kids can go do their thing. And what else do we do?
Well, you said, so one kid does the golf. What was your
daughter? She's...
what does Aubrey do? She's amazing.
She's just amazing. She doesn't real into
how
sports
old?
Per se, but
she plays basketball. She doesn't love basketball, but she plays basketball. She's 11, so she's not in like middle school sports or anything like that. She loves gymnastics. She loves art, and she was baking brownies when we left the house earlier. So she's just a gem of a person. Like
that's so cool.
She's pretty amazing. She's easy.
Yeah.
Second kiddo.
Yeah, right.
Awesomeness. Yeah.
That's cool.
She's good stuff. So.
She seems self-sufficient.
She is self-sufficient.
She is very mature above her.
I mean, she's probably eating brownies for dinner tonight, but she's self-sufficient.
That's what happens when parents leave.
That's right.
And we're going out to eat after this. So we eat. Like that's what we do. We like to find
I mean, that's
restaurants.
That's definitely, that's right up my alley. We're very much homebodies too. Like we stay home. I mean, you kind of, when you have kids,
Yeah, they kind of miss.
It's not like, it's not like you can't have fun, but it's just different. And you can't go out as much as you used to.
It's a process.
It is a process.
It takes a lot longer.
It costs a little more because you got to hire a babysitter.
Yes.
Exactly. Well, of course, my wife does not trust any babysitter.
That's tough. That's
family
tough.
only. It's grandparents or nothing.
That makes it hard.
Yeah. And I'm cool with that. That's fine.
She'll get off that in a couple of years because, I mean, you have a 6-year-old
just literally
and
anybody
a
can watch
younger,
it.
real young one, right?
Yeah, 6 and 4. Yeah,
6 and 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, once they're
yeah. Oh, yeah. When they're older, it's like we
don't care anymore.
Yeah, we're going out. It's fine.
We're going out
You'll be
to
fine.
eat.
Yeah, figure it out.
Yeah.
Cook your dinner.
We travel. We try to travel.
We do love
as
to
much as we
travel.
can.
I forget that. We absolutely love to travel, and we go to the beach
We don't have as much time.
all the time.
As much time for it as we used to, but
Really?
it's
No, we're going to
definitely
make
a
some
goal
time
every
this year. Yeah. We make time. Yeah, we love travel. We take our kids when they're very lucky. They get to come with us. We've gone to Turks and Caicos a couple times, like Zuma,
Okay.
St. Lucia last summer. So we like the beach, obviously, but yeah.
Ireland.
So
I love the beach. You so you mentioned who's the singer?
Ryan Bingham.
No, the other guy.
Oh,
I forget his name.
Chris Stapleton.
Chris Stapleton.
Yes.
Do you know Coulter Wall? I've really gotten into Coulter Wall.
No. Do you
my
know
gosh.
who that is?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
You know who he is. You know his songs.
Oh, really?
Phenomenal.
Yeah, he's great.
And
All
what
right.
I didn't know was how young that guy is.
Is he that young?
He's like 27, 28. But he's got the voice of like a 60-year-old chain smoker. Like
Okay.
that's
like
just
a 60-year-old chain smoker.
that's his
sound.
voice.
That's
Like when you
cool.
listen to him sing, you think he's like this really old, got this raspy voice. But he's like this young
What's
kid.
the name of some songs he's
We'll have to
singing?
listen to him on the way.
I like his
dinner.
the song Caroline. It's a duet. I don't know who he sings it with, but Caroline with Coulter Wall is really good. He's got that sleeping on the blacktop.
Sleeping on the Blacktop, yeah.
That's a really.
I have that- we have that
I
on
know
the
that guy. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that song.
Oh, it's
yeah.
catchy.
Yeah,
It's catchy.
We love.
And there's one more that we have on the.
It's
on our
the
playlists.
Devil Wears White, I think, or Devil. Was that
I
it?
don't know if that's it.
No.
We'll have to turn him. We'll turn him on
Yeah.
the way to dinner.
Yeah.
Where are we going to dinner at?
Hestia down
Huh?
on 3rd Street.
Hestina?
Hestia.
Oh, I've never heard of it.
So we chose from the list. A lot of awesome restaurants got the 1 Michelin star
Oh, okay.
last month. So we just randomly chose one of them.
Mm.
So here we go. We're gonna try
Like
it
the first
out.
time
We're not down here
any
much.
Austin restaurant got a.
That's fun.
Hey, we're
What kind of
on
food
Liberty Hill.
is Hestia? Is that
I
Mexican?
don't know. He made
No
the recipe.
idea.
I ate anything, so it's like, what is it?
I think
don't
it's
know.
just like
It's a
over
Michelin star
an open-
restaurant. We don't
over
ask.
an open flame.
But what
Oh.
kind of food over
Meat.
an open flame? It's meat. We're going to
Any
go
kind
have
of meat. I
meat,
don't
Lonnie.
Like a Brazilian.
Nah.
That's okay. So that's like our favorite place to go is a Brazilian steakhouse.
Yes.
You know what I
Yes,
mean?
we
Where
love
they
that
just they just bring you
Yes.
meat, and we're like, yes.
This is not
It's
the
our
place
dream.
where they're going to bring you unlimited meat. No, you have to pay for it. And,
Damn it.
But no, it's, I don't know, maybe Spanish kind of.
Obviously, we have
Spanish.
no idea. We just make reservations. Yeah. I'm like, hey,
we wanted to try
make
new-
a reservation somewhere.
Try some more new. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Do y'all? What about these drones? What's going on with these?
I've seen so many things about the drones, but I haven't dug into this news story or gone down the rabbit hole because
Nobody knows what's
I
going
go
on
down a
with
lot
these.
of rabbit holes, politically and conspiracy theories and real estate and interest rates. And so I didn't have the bandwidth to go down the drone rabbit
Oh,
hole.
I know.
I saw this
But
one.
so y'all tell me. I
I
don't
saw
know.
this one guy. This is a different
He's
topic.
going to know because he.
Well, it's different than the New Jersey.
They're Jewish drones.
New
They got
Jersey
the
drones.
They got the space lasers, and now they got the drones.
What are
Some
they
old man in
looking at?
Florida shot at a
Oh yeah, I saw
a
that.
drone for Walmart that was delivering or doing a
Oh,
mock delivery
no.
and
I
he
saw that.
shot it with a 9mm and
Okay.
They arrested the
and
guy.
they arrested the guy. He got charged with multiple felonies for. He was like.
Was it on his property?
80s.
I mean,
It was
It was
his
over.
property.
I think maybe
So-
he should be arrested.
So now the
Like, you
story
can't
is
do
like,
that.
don't
Okay,
shoot at the drones.
Well,
Like,
so that's
Okay.
a
You will-
question.
This
maybe
is like a new problem, like a futuristic problem.
Well,
we're
maybe
gonna
you
have to
know.
figure out.
I mean, that's kind of a real estate thing. When you own,
don't-
seriously, when you
No,
own,
this is a problem.
it
Yes.
is when you own property, you own the airspace above the land.
Okay, yes.
Do you know the extent of the airspace that you own?
No.
Do you own
And
the airspace?
I don't at all. We've never had issues. So I like to provide high-end marketing for my listings, which includes drone photography, drone videos,
Right.
and I have the kindest photographer that comes and is just so respectful. And we had a neighbor of one of my listings in Round Rock this in the fall, or maybe this summer. And, the drone was not on her property, nothing, but she came out and just ripped into him
Really?
about his drone and her privacy. And he was so nice and respectful, and she wasn't at all, from what I understand. But it was interesting because he's like, I don't know. Like, I've never had this issue before. I just kind of quickly got the rest of the photos and left. But it was interesting because it's like, I bet this could be a thing. I don't know if other real estate agents run into that with like neighbors. But anyways, it wasn't on her property, so I'm not really sure what where she was coming from with it. But she didn't shoot at it, so that's great.
I think the drone itself is the least of the problem. It's that you're firing a
that's
firearm
true.
in a city limit.
That's true. You don't know where it's going to come back down.
Yeah,
right.
Mischief,
like you
whatever,
probably shouldn't do that.
Those
you
are the
lived
crimes.
In
But if you were to like lasso the drone, the
or
rope, and pull it down,
that's going to be an issue too.
You would probably only deal with a civil suit
or an eagle. If you had
but
an
what
eagle
are these drones
trained
really
like?
What are they actually doing?
The ones in New Jersey.
I don't understand.
Nobody knows. I mean, well, somebody knows. But
Joe Biden made a comment about it, but I didn't. What was his comment?
He was at
he just mumbled a little bit.
He mumbled. He wanted.
More likely, they're just doing some sort of exercise. I mean, they're not.
That's freaky, though.
They're not aliens because they have like our.
So
they're
what?
flashing.
They have the lights that the F.
And that was a good thing too that somebody made was like, if this was truly like an enemy drone, they would be undetectable. Like they wouldn't have lights going off. Like it's not like a Russian drone.
It's not like
Chinese.
wasn't there like a balloon from China?
That
like
did
that was a
year?
long time.
Yeah,
that was what was that last year? Yeah, like
that was last year.
Yeah, I'm still on that news story. I'm way
balloon?
behind. I haven't. What do you
that
think?
was an interesting one though.
What would happen in Liberty Hill if drones just started to appear?
We would blast it.
They would definitely shoot them out. Yeah,
that's gonna be.
They would shoot out.
We'd all get
that would be so bad.
We'd go out in the pasture and drink some beer
bottle
and it'd be like
rockets at 'em.
That's
skeet shooting.
That's not going to go well. Yeah.
No, not happening.
Oh
man, that's awesome.
I don't know. It's only so many news stories I can keep up with.
I know. I'm the same way. I try to keep up with it as best I can, but there's so much going on. Yeah,
and people are like taking videos and photos, and like people are looking at it and be like, "Man, that's obviously an airplane." Like,
yeah.
Like it's.
Well, I get the thing.
I
get the thing with the drones because I mean that could very well be an invasion of somebody's privacy. I mean, you don't know.
Yeah.
But like the client, we're working for now, we actually on several occasions we've had like unknown drones fly, around the property.
That's just a realtor trying to get some cool footage for social media.
Well, we found out. So what it is, there's actually it's like an Instagram page that like trashes like their whole spiel is that they want to trash like billionaires or multimillionaires and
like just verbally trash or like
like they want to say like, oh look, this
poor quality.
Look how big their
no,
house
not poor quality. It's like look at them spending all this money on this house, like and they're not helping the poor people suffering or whatever.
Okay,
so they're just trashing rich people basically, and that was their whole thing. And so this drone was flying around, this project we're working on, and it was on multiple occasions that happened because they, we have access to the lake, and so they just fly it up there, and it's so I kind of get it. It is a total invasion of your privacy.
Yeah, and that's straight, and to the extent where it's an invasion of our quote unquote like construction site privacy, but like to the defamation of like our business character, and that's not that's not cool.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. If I had a shotgun, I would have blasted.
That would have happened.
For sure, yeah.
Okay.
Get a nail gun.
I'd like to know where y'all stand on this.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure, and I appreciate y'all coming on. Really, I mean, I've had a blast. So
this was fun.
Yeah, this was great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, and I hope y'all have a wonderful evening, a nice dinner, and y'all have some fun.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys and your insight and your expertise. So, thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
You're welcome.